Okay, so you can see here, if you didn't see the first step here of our build, we actually put in our power conditioner at the top inside of this 12U rack from Gator Cases. And now we're gonna move on to the next step. Now, one of the things I think that's important, this is a little less important for the work that goes on in my studio here that I'm shooting by myself, but this is really important if I ever need to go anywhere and potentially I'm gonna be the one doing some of the monitoring, here is a little unit that you can install that's gonna give you two views. So ideally this is gonna be your program feed, and this is gonna be your multi-view. And this allows somebody that's just standing here at the rack itself to be able to see everything that's going on, even if you don't have other monitors. Now, what I'm gonna be doing for my live setup is I'm gonna have some outputs. You'll see us configure those a little later. I'm gonna have some outputs going out of this rack unit that feed monitors that are gonna be placed under the cameras that I'm gonna be shooting on. So I'll be able to see the program view and the multi-view. But in this case, I just wanted to include this. This might have been a little bit of a splurge. This is the Blackmagic Design SmartView Duo. And what this allows us to do is, again, to have two not super high resolution monitors, and these support HD video. So they have a more expensive version. I believe it's another $200 or $300 that actually supports 4K video, even though it downscales it. And then it also supports some of the scope functionality that you have. And to be perfectly honest, that's one of those areas, because I don't have a background in videography. If I went and spent money on that, I probably wouldn't know how to properly use it. That's something I'll learn over time. But right now, when we look at this SmartView Duo, this is gonna give me what I need to be able to have everything just kind of in one compact unit, including the ability to see both that program view and the multi-view. So we're gonna look at this unit. Now, I should say, one of the reasons I also chose not to go with the 4K version is because if you look at a lot of their 4K switchers, they're gonna have HD video outputs by default out of the switchers, other ATEM switchers from Blackmagic Design that you can use for your program view and your multi-view. So because of that, I thought, you know what, even if in the future I upgrade to a 4K switcher, which I think is likely if I keep doing this, then I can still use these same monitors for what I need. And again, if I ever need to upgrade to the ones that actually have the scope capabilities built in, I'll just sell this one on eBay. So let's take a look at this here. Okay, so we've got some stuff here I've got to be careful that's going to fall out of the back if I'm not careful. Here we go. So this is the power, and here we actually have the monitor unit itself. Now, first of all, you can see pretty clearly, I believe this is going to be, what, 4 rack units? Actually, it's probably 3. It's 3 rack unit. And you can see, first of all, again, we've got the 2 screens that we talked about. We'll use one for multi-view, one for program view. Then on the back, you can see that we have several different connections. We've got SDI in and out for both of the monitors. We also have an Ethernet in and out. We have a USB, so we actually can update the software that's actually running on this. We have the tally control. So if you want to be able to see on your multi-view which is the current camera that the switcher is actually running, it has tally control that's built in. I'll need to figure out exactly, I know this integrates well with the ATEM switcher. We'll have to get into it to see if we actually have to run a tally cable or if that's integrated in. I think it's integrated in the SDI because it's using Blackmagic's protocol over SDI. The other thing is, obviously we have our power here. So let's go ahead and let's toss this in. Actually, before we do, it comes with several different power adapters for international uses. So if you're looking for something other than just your standard United States plug, which I have here, you should be able to get it from this without any problem. They've got a variable power adapter here so that you can just slip in whatever plug you want and it should work just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and run this power outlet first. So I'm gonna jump in here and drop this in. I'm gonna drop this into the power conditioner that I have here in the back. Now, one of the things I like is you can tell they actually built this for this kind of unit because it's aligned up and down instead of side to side on the back, so it doesn't take up a massive amount of space for our power conditioner. And so I've got that cable run. We'll certainly have to do a lot of work with cable management once we're through with this, but let's go ahead and throw this in. So I'm gonna screw this into the rack and then we'll move on to our next piece of gear.